can't get mad at me when I'm asking you questions and you're not looking at me, not paying attention, not nothing. I know, that's too hard. Too hard. Rubber ducky, you're the one. You make bath time so much fun. So what time is that wedding tomorrow?
It starts at 5, but I have to be with her 11.
Hey, what's going on? Hey, I should have called you. I can go live with people. You want to jump in this and do a live together? Or at least, if not today, next time, Brian? I don't know that I want to answer a stupid question like that. What are you doing tomorrow? Maybe we get something together. You want to do something together? Kill like an hour or two, do that? If you do, go into your settings and look at live and it says invite a guest. We'll set that up for tomorrow. There's no SKSs up there. There's an M1A1 and a Sega 12. Hey, what's going on? I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. Chemthika? I think that's how you'd say it. Chemthika? Fadush? Sounds like a Russian name. What clock? There's no 50, man. Yes, they're real firearms. Oh, everybody always asks that. We can do that before 3. You let me know what time you want to do it and I'll get set up. I ain't got shit to do tomorrow. I'm going to run up to Appleton. I shouldn't say I ain't got shit to do. At some point, I'm going to run up to Appleton with my oldest and we're going to put some more rounds through this Shadow Systems that I bought for my daughter. Yeah, we're in America, man. Ezo, happy birthday. Give you that gat. Yeah. Yeah, I got lots of AKs, man. So just to tell you how I do these lives. Every time I do a live and or if you go into my videos and you tell me what you want to see, I'll make sure it's in a live. The last live, I had people asking about a Sega 12. And being I don't believe in Chinese half-assed, I have a Sega 12. We presented that. And then I was asked what one of my favorite rifles is. And honestly, one of my favorite rifles is right here. It's the M1A1 Scout Squad. Not M1A1, M1A Scout Squad. Yeah, there's no handling firearms on lives. Yeah, no, man, they're not BB guns. Feel free to go to the channel. Every one of these has been on there. Kimber. There's no Kimbers up here either, but Kimbers are okay for what they are. issued in what was issued in 1908? Uh, I mean, you don't really get to go on somebody else's channel and ask them for money. That's pretty disrespectful, isn't it? That's like showing up to a charity event and then having a hat to pass around for your own charity. There's no AKs up here today. There's a Sega 12. You got food taste? What do you mean by that? Yeah, here's about 20,000. All real, man. If you want to see these in a little closer detail, I did do a quick video before I started this live where I could pick them up and I could show the gun just a little bit. So feel free to jump there and look at them. It's not a 1911. It's a M9 Beretta clone. It's actually a Gerson. I don't know why I have it. It was an impulsive, shiny ADHD moment. I saw it. It looked cool. I bought it. Do I have a gun range? I belong to a gun range. No, nothing here is fake. If you want to see them in the flesh, go to the channel. They're all being shot, man. You guys trip me out when you see a real firearm. Your first instinct is to believe that they're fake. Well, I'm sorry about the UK thing. Being able to own firearms is a great responsibility and it's a lot of fun. You know what they look like? Well, if you're saying these are fake, man, you're a clown. No offense. Go to the channel. Prove me wrong, man. They're all being shot at one point or another somewhere in the videos. I think the only one I've never put in a video is probably the Sega 12. Well, there's a few, all right? So the Sega 12 I've never had in a video. The Beretta I've never had in a video. And the MRP hasn't been in a video yet. D-Dog, what's going on? Hey, man. So, D-Dog, I looked up. I was shopping on Gunbroker today. Horrible, horrible thing to do. But I came across one of them gold diggers. Why didn't you ever tell me? You said it was limited edition. Why didn't you ever say it was only 1,300 of them that were manufactured? No, I don't have any Red Riders. I have a Sheridan 6mm and a Gamma Whisper Fusion. I think that one's in 22. They're the only BB guns I own. Actually, my daughter's got a BB gun too. I don't know what it is. 5.7 going to buy an FN Scar or P90. P90 is a cool gun, but you may be a little disappointed in what it is. It's a cool collection piece to have. If you're going to buy a P90, do a little research and figure out what generations are which, and then look for that one. Yeah, I didn't know that it was that either, and I saw them, and I read their article on it, and it makes me want to buy one. Not gonna lie. Are you asking if I have a 1911? So I have a few. 50 cap sniper. Yeah. Depends what you want to do with it. So I have a hard time recommending guns because it all depends on your use. You know, if you're just somebody that wants to go to the range and enjoy shooting, if you're somebody that wants to be a high volume shooter, if you want to carry it for, self protection or whatever that way. So my favorite Glock, I have two of them. I have not the same generation. I have more than one Glock, but I have a Gen 3 Glock 17 I bought back in 2001. That gun in itself has more rounds through it than every other firearm I own combined. I mean, lots and lots and lots of rounds. And then I have a backup to it, which is a Gen 4 Glock 17. So Settle for an AR-15 Springfield. I don't have any experience yet with the Prodigy. Some people like them, some don't. During matches, we see a lot of them run. I see a lot of them fail. So I don't know. SPO ones would be a good option for people. You're right. I agree with that, D-Dog. 100%. A lot of people buy an SPO1, and that's exactly all they'll ever need. I would recommend somebody gets the manual safety and not the decocker, just because later on you can do a trigger job to it very easily. Caliber preference. It depends on, again, what I'm doing with it. My carry gun is a 9mm. My competition guns are 9mm major. I have TSO2 in 40. That's okay. I have a Glock in 40. That's okay. And I have a couple 1911s and 45. They're all right. Depends, again, it depends on your use, what you're going to do with it. This is what freedom looks like. I was never impressed with XDs. Over the years, I had a couple. The first one I had, my wife actually won. It was a XD Pro. It was their competition model. She won it at a Wisconsin State IDPA shoot. She was in a staff draw, so she won the gun. And later on, because she liked it, I had bought her a XD subcompact, and that nobody liked. We got rid of, actually ended up getting rid of both of them. I do know what a 4-bore is. Well, that sounds good in theory, but in order for somebody to do a backflip, you got to remember, as the shooter you would be, every force has an equal and opposite reaction. So in order for something to put out that kind of energy, you're also taking that kind of energy. So it's not one way. That's why you look at, like, somebody was just asking about a 4-bore. You look at Kentucky Ballistics when he's shooting them. I don't even what you even want to call them guns. They're small artillery. The black D-Dog, that's my Sega 12. You gotta bust that out once in a while. That was a late import in 2012, right before the Russian small arms were banned from importation. That was one of the last ones that came in. That gun actually came in that configuration. Different stock, different pistol grip, but it came in the pistol grip platform, which up until that point, none of the Segas did. They all came in and got converted, but that one actually came in, and that's their best ones. It has the 4 gas ports in it. I don't know, a bunch of goofy stuff on it. I put a Carolina shooter supply puck in it. I think it's a 6 or 8 position gas adjustment and blah, blah, blah. But Sega 12. Any of you guys that are commenting, if I'm missing your comments and I'm not acknowledging, I'm sorry, but they're scrolling. So repost it and I'll try to watch it. Everything here is legal. Free white and over 21. More guns, peace. Yeah, I don't think anybody's going back to swords. I don't even think there's any illegals here. They had an ice raid here in town, so hopefully they got all them too. Yeah, everything up here is real. Is your mom home?
Yeah.
What is this? I'm on.
Yeah, that's all I know.
Oh shit! Hey, I gotta look at this shit. Speaking of legal firearms, right? My wife just came in. Let's see what we got here. I won't say my name, but Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms Explosives. Let's see what we got. I actually know what this is going to be. Well, I could be surprised. Let's see. I'm going to cover my name, but what this is, hopefully my name is covered. This is a letter from alcohol, tobacco, and firearms stating they have to return my seized triggers. Yeah, it wouldn't be a switch, but that's why when D-Dog, when people are like, I'm calling the ATF, I always tell people, bro, they already know who I am. Yeah, poor little sad boys. We hereby notify that ATF is currently in possession of FRT 15s or WTs, individual plaintiffs, blah, blah, blah. Please excuse us for being pompous jackasses and infringing on your benefits. We're going to give you a one-time exemplary get out of jail free card. No, it doesn't say any of that. What it does say, though, is it has paperwork asking if what the case numbers are, if my name, what items were taken. And then it's their legal brief saying we got to return your. So you guys saw this first, man. Exclusive breaking news. Never a dull moment. Never a dull moment. Yeah, put that. Probably go put that on. Actually, just set it over there. Throw that away, please. It is absolutely our American rights to have guns. What's going on, Patriot Arms? Hey, man, you just missed it. I just opened my official FedEx certified mail from the Department of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. Hell yeah, they took them. Fuckers. I told you about that, didn't I? They came to my house, man. When they were sending out all these letters a couple years ago, I was like one of the first people to get them. You know, they showed up. They sent me a letter in the mail, showed up the next day, and then they had the local detective with them, which is kind of weird when, you know, not only did you know the Fed, but you knew the cop. And yeah, they seized or asked to surrender my property. And they knew what they were. They knew where I got them, when I got them. So kind of one of them things. Big Daddy Unlimited, they're fucking rats, dude. They sold everybody out. They gave their information right up. And Wide Open Trigger, they gave their information up too. They had purchase date, shipping date, tracking numbers. They also had copies of emails from me and WOT when I first got it, and they couldn't. I couldn't get it to work. No, man, they were here. They wanted me, but like I said, dude, I was just retiring from the club, so I mean, any chance the ATF had to come and jump on me, they were going to. Where's the 1911? They're in the safe. Small table. I can only get so many on here. When's the last time you went to a school? I was at school yesterday at 2:45. I picked up my daughter. If you're implying that I would do harm, then, I mean, you're everything that's wrong with people. Dude, don't show guns on YouTube. That's kind of what I do. I appreciate it. That bread is all right. Nothing fancy. Ammo Alchemist. Man, you missed it. I just opened up a certified letter from the Department of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, Explosives. Exclusive, first time on YouTube. If you heard people talking about it, but I got the letter saying, "We're sorry we infringed on your rights. We're sorry that we confiscated your property. Please get a hold of us so we can return your property." It's a 92 FS. It's the Italian manufactured, not the US manufactured, which makes it the 92 FS. Myself or Shadow 2. There's a Shadow 2 up there. That's the urban gray one. There's a Tactical Sport Orange 2. Obviously, that's the orange gun. And then there's a SPO1 competition. It's a M1A. That's the civilian version of the M14. There's no full auto. It's a Scout Squad. It's got the 18-inch barrel. That's actually one of my dream guns. That's something as a little kid that I wanted in the worst way. Hold on, D-Dog. No, so WOT, they gave up everything. They gave up everything. They took a couple triggers off me. So when they sent out all their letters and started doing home visits, I literally saw it on YouTube. The next day I had a letter, and the day after that, ATF was at my house after work waiting for me. And it wasn't like they were here for an hour. They knew what time I came home. They were sitting there, and they just got there. It was field agent from, it wasn't even from my state. They came from Chicago. And then they had the local, one of the local police detectives, which I knew him, man. He was all right. Never had any problems with him. He was actually a SWAT guy before became a detective. Uh, he liked to talk about how good he was, and then we started putting money on targets, and he wasn't as good as he thought he was anymore, so he didn't want to play. But kind of weird when they show up, and I knew the field officer from back when I had my firearms business, and then I knew him from just being in town. Man, you want to buy me a Gatling gun? I'm all kinds of cool with that. Feel free. So Jupiter, whatever, dude. You're a tool. I don't think we're gonna let you stay any longer. Oh, unfortunately, I don't think I can get rid of the little slimy bastard. Let's try this. So let's see what we got going on. What if Trumpster starts cutting gun funding? What do you mean cutting gun funding? What do you think he's like handing out welfare dollars for firearms? Only buddy funding firearms is it's a consumer-based industry. It's not only consumer being anything government, but civilian. There's no subsidies or anything like that. That's foolish. Yeah, the way I have my phone down, I couldn't get to it quick enough. Man, you've said that like 10 times, all right? There. All right. Now, Patriot, we got these motherfuckers getting. You gone. See ya. See you like that Asian at the massage parlor. I'm gone. See you next time. My moderator isn't here at the moment. And there's a few people on here I'd probably consider letting them, but it's kind of a big thing, you know. It's your channel, um, to give up that control. Well, I don't know. A couple guys I talk to a lot, and you know who you are. I wouldn't have a problem with it. Maybe if, when your message scrolls back through here, I'll go ahead and hit it. Yeah, that's what I figured out before, but I usually have one that's close by. I think he's getting ready to take off, going to work, I believe. So, well, I don't know why guys want to show guns. So what do you show? Do you show your video games? You show your car? You know, man, why you guys so out of control? I mean, oh, I show everybody my wiener. Anybody that'll take a look at it. Look at this guy. Woo! Yeah. See, I may show it, but you're the sick bastard that's looking for it. They are, man. You know, everybody's got to be smart. And it's school time, so I'm assuming a lot of these gamer kids are getting home. But it's whatever. You guys go ahead and throw the comments all you want. I show it. I can't show it on here, bud. You want to go on my OnlyFans page? That's pay-per-view, though. Love the, yeah. It's not the M9, though. It's the Berta 92 FS. Sure, anything else you want me to do for you? I do have a Desert Eagle. They're fun. I was almost gonna put that out here today, and I mean I got a small table, so there's not a ton of room. Yeah, there's a lot of kids spamming, uh, which is fine. They're feeding the algorithms. Bring out the Eagles gang. What, DC Eagles? Makes me wonder if I know you now. Well, unless you're just referring to firearms as Eagles, that could be. Goldfish. I like that. Call them goldfishes. That's pretty. Yeah, Eagles. Yeah, see, I misunderstood you. I thought we were talking about something completely different. But yeah, Desert Eagles are fun, man. It's an interesting firearm to shoot. Uh, they're actually fairly accurate, lot more accurate than people think they are. But they're big. They're chunky. It's cool to shoot stuff with them. Cinder blocks, trees, you know, stuff like that. I don't know if Germany has the best firearms. I appreciate that. Stoger or nothing in the world. I don't know what you mean by Stoger. Taurus. They fit a niche. They get or allow a lot of people to get into firearms at a price point. I saw you say that already. Germany has the best firearms. Germany has the best barbecue. It's that authentic brick stove. My grandparents immigrated from Germany after World War II. My grandfather fought on the German side. He was captured. He was brought to America as a POW. After World War II, he was returned to Germany to help clean up and rebuild. At that point, my grandma's side of the family immigrated, and he came back. Eric Cortez. That is a MR 920P Elite. What do you mean, do you have a farmer? Not sure what that means, my guy. Motherland was in reference to Russia. Germany was actually, they called it the fatherland. Yeah, everything on here today, with the exception of the long guns, are all 9mm. I do not, well, I shouldn't say I don't own a double barrel shotgun. I have an over under. I don't have a side by side shotgun. I have my trap sporting clay shotgun, which is over under. No, I don't have any switches, but I did get my letter just minutes ago from the Department of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, Explosives saying they're going to return my property. What state is Dale Club? Just curious. You don't have to answer, but I am curious. Trapping sporting clays is a blast. I'm not very good at wing shooting. I'm better than some people. Definitely not as good as those guys who. Well, Ohio. Hey, Patriots from Ohio. I don't know if you've ever been to his channel. Check his channel out, Patriot Arms 80. For that fact, check out Brian Myers, Gen X, and D-Dog Tactical, Ammo Alchemist. These are all solid people. It's not an M1 Grand. It's a M1A Scout Squad. And I bought it, when I buy it, I think I bought it back in 2007, and it was $1,800. Yeah, it's 308, 762 308. Yeah, I talk to them guys all the time. They're good people. I only own one Shadow, so a lot of people confuse Tactical Sport oranges with Shadows. You can see the gun with the orange grips on it. That's a Tactical Sport Orange 2. At a glance, it looks similar, but I think when it gets warmer out, we're going to get them out and do a good side-by-side. On a Tactical Sport Orange 2, you're going to add another $1,000 for the gun. They're heavier, they're longer, there's different texture, and it's a wider grip. Any CZ product that has orange grips is a hand-fit firearm, and that's their best of their best guns. And CZ makes great guns anyway, but the oranges are what they are. I'm not sure what you're all saying. I see P38, Luger 08, and cool. If you sub to Patriot, make sure you get Dito. You know, another really good channel is Overzealous. I don't know if y'all ever seen him, Overzealous Collector. Dude's a real humble guy. Got some really cool guns. Real humble, kind of meek, but I enjoy sitting and talking with him. Him and I bullshit back and forth quite a bit. But he's cool people. Let them know, hey, if you click in there, let them know I sent you over. I've been trying to convince B-Dog and Overzealous both to do some lives. Overzealous, he does a lot of, he's real big into getting stuff and customizing it. So he does a lot of like in-depth reviews, or I don't even want to call it a review, but in-depth of what he's doing, um, and talking about what he did. You'd have to check his channel. He's got some cool stuff. Yeah, I have a few AKs. Um, man, let's not say stupid shit, right? I mean, no offense, but if you're serious, go do it. I don't know what you mean by mods. I have one person that I have set up to moderate my channel, and that's it. Um, well, make sure you come back, right, Hawk? Don't just stay gone, you know. But yeah, definitely check them out. They're good people. So Glock 18s are a NFA item, and there's very few transferable Glock 18s, because in order to be a transferable machine gun, it had to be pre-May of 1986. And I mean, there's probably less than a dozen of them that are transferable in the United States. So the only way to have a transfer or a Glock 18 is to be an SOT or law enforcement. No, I don't have single messenger app. I don't have to have any firearm registered in the state I live in. So there's no registration, there's no special permission unless it's NFA items. Um, I would love to buy PKM, but unfortunately, you'd have to get it here. If you can get it here, and nah, I'm not even gonna say that because who knows. Um, it's a M1A, so it's the civilian version of the M14. There's no full auto. There's no full auto parts in it. Um, So Signal isn't that secure. When I was still in the club, uh, if you do your research, Signal is actually owned by uh, the NSA. The NSA put that stuff out saying it was all secure and stuff. Do a 10-minute search. Signal is owned by the federal government. It is not secure. I got RPGs on deck. Well, dude, I'd love to have a few. So I'll tell you what they are on the table, but if you want to look at them in a closer look, I did do a short video right before I started live today. So the long gun on the left is a Springfield M1A Scout Squad. It's an 18-inch barrel. The long gun on the right is a Sega 12 and 12 gauge. No, nothing here is fake. On the bottom, going to the tops, the very bottom gun is a Beretta 92 FS. The gun right above that's a Shadow Systems MR920P Elite. The gun right above that with the red grips is a Dan Wesson DWX. The gun right above that with the orange grips is a CZ Tactical Sport Orange 2. Yes, I have a 50 cal. We'll come back to that. The gun above the orange grips is a Shadow 2. The gun right above that is a CZ SPO1 competition. And then the gold gun at the very end is a Gersan MC Deluxe. Yes, I have a 50 cal. I own a Barrett M82. If you want to see it, it's on the channel. We shoot it quite a bit. Original got M14. What kind of Taurus do you have? You say 10 millimeter, but what model? The second to the last, I would assume from the top down, that's a SPO1 competition. Gold gun is ADHD at its finest. If you look at the video, you'll see it's actually got some pretty cool engraving and stuff. So Shadow System is overrated. Probably. So there's a reason I own the Shadow System, and I'll tell you all this if you care. So I bought that Shadow System for my daughter. She is 11 years old. She will be shooting USPSA this year, and she'll be competing in pistol. I needed something that a young girl could shoot, would be minor recoil, and she happens to really like a Glock 44, which is a Glock 19 frame size, but it's 22. So when I say I need something light recoil and I need a frame size of something that she already likes, I need a light gun and I want it to reduce recoil, I need something with a comp, I need exactly the rest. So that's why I have the Shadow Systems. It's for my daughter. So it was, I think, 1050. So just over $1,000. Uh, I like the frame. I like the texturing they use. I like the add-ons. I like the way the gun came. If I had built a Glock out for her, I'd have been into it for more money. So I bought a Shadow Systems because realistically, it was cheaper for me to buy that than to build out another gun for her. Um, so if it's overrated, I don't know. I haven't even got my 2000 mark with it. We'll do that tomorrow. My oldest and I are going to go burn it some more. I usually don't even show a gun on here or even talk about it until I hit at least 2000 rounds. Um, I've never shot the FN57, so I'm not sure what they do or don't. That model is not $750. I can assure you that. Uh, they're they're listing for $1,100. That's what they're telling you, man. I'm telling you, do the research. It's owned by the government. You know, you can let me say it like this. It's published that they own Signal. So they own Signal, the government owns Signal, and they're saying, "Hey, bro, trust us. This is encrypted. Use us for all your encryption needs." If you believe that, and that's cool. I just came across. I don't even want to respond to that, man. That's just why say something like that. I don't know a lot about HK handguns. Um, I know a little bit. No, I'm not a coder. So the SPO1 competition has all Cajun Gunworks parts, um, with the exception of the trigger. If you notice, it's a gold trigger. I think that came off of Eamon Tech, but everything else in there, yeah, it's got the Pro package, the short reset, extended fire and pin, blah 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 blah. I even changed the bushing in it to the Cajun 10x barrel bushing. So what I'll say is, I shouldn't have had to do any work for what that gun cost, and especially saying it's a competition model. I was disappointed when I got it to the range. Um, it if you've had a CZ apart, the kit's no big deal. Uh, when I did that one, I wasn't super familiar with taking everything out of the gun. Uh, but now I mean, it's not bad. Just pay attention to your little parts. I have a few 1911s. I'm, not a sponsor, man. I believe you, but I have no reason to use it. I guess that's where I'm at on all that. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't play Call of Duty. I'm not a video game guy. I do not own a Mauser anymore. Um, I don't think they're that bad. They're frustrating at first, but they're not that bad. The decocker models, they can stick that right up their backside, man. I don't want nothing to do with taking them apart, but they're manual safety guns. Once you pull one apart and put it back together, it's really not too bad. The sear cage can get you a little bit, but bread ties are your friends. Um, so the only good. What about the Dan Wesson? You're saying that's not a good gun? I don't need to coordinate with them. Uh, they can get a hold of me directly, or I get a hold of them. So P10s are all right. If you don't know, think Berettas are good. Well, what I can say is Beretta's a different gun. Me being a left-handed shooter, the Berettas suck, dude. They have a transfer bar on the right-hand side of the gun, which absolutely breaks your grip as a left-handed shooter. So they have a float-in barrel inside the slide. There's not a very a tight lockup to it, which is great for reliability, but um, it's not the best for accuracy. I had a shop years ago. Yeah, I closed that. I'm trying to think. I think it was right around 2012. It was right after Sandy Hook and stuff. I think my license was due in January, end of January of 2012. So right after the first of the year, I went ahead and sent in my uh, QC, not QC 468s, wrong job, 4473s, and my business records, and closed that out. The ARs are in the safe. You know, it's a small table. I can only have so much on here at a time. These are the guns I was asked about last time. Wisconsin. Nah, you can't please everybody. Yeah, we've been talking about. I tell you what, I'm gonna make it happen later. Just keep an eye on your stuff. The APX, that's it's got the rotating barrel, I believe, doesn't it? Yeah. Well, I'll get in touch with you later. I should have done that already. I'm waiting to see what's gonna happen with my vacation. They're not approving or denying anything. So if I took off this week, they would give me off. But anything out, they're in a holding pattern, especially with the Department of Defense being audited. Uh, kind of unknown what's going on, what's going to happen with our workload or anything that way. Feel free to call. I mean, if you've been here earlier, I would have showed you the paperwork from the ATF. So you don't need to call and tell them where I'm at. They already know where I'm at. So my favorite gun, I need to refine that search a little. So my favorite gun right now on the table for a long gun is my M1A. That's a gun that I really enjoy shooting. I cherish it. It's fun. I don't take that out with other people. It's something I take out and I just spend an afternoon, plinking steel with it. Handguns, it really depends on what I'm using it for. I have my favorite competition pistols, things that I really enjoy shooting that way. But all around favorite guns, I don't know that if I have one gun that sticks out over anything else. So a lot of people, they only have a few guns, and one gun will serve multiple roles for them. For me, I have a gun for everything I want to do with it. If I want to shoot competition, if I want to shoot rifle, if I want to shoot long range rifle, if I want to go out and just burn up ammo and make noise. Uh, so I have a lot of things that serve specific jobs. Not saying that any one of them couldn't and wouldn't be efficient or effective in any task, but I appreciate a Blue Baron. A lot of people really like the 300 Blackout. Uh, Sorry, I'm reading here. Do you like more on the table? So on the table here, there's two handguns that I really enjoy. Um, the Dan Wesson DWX. That's a relatively new gun for me. That was my Christmas present this last year. The Tactical Sport Orange 2. That's a really fun gun to shoot. It's a tack driver. Uh, Recoil is right there. I mean, it's just buttery smooth. That one I've actually shot limited with. Um, so the favorite gun on this table would be my M1A1, the long gun, the wood stock. That's one of my favorite guns. That would be in one of my top probably 3 firearms I own that I would never want to get rid of, and I enjoy shooting. I enjoy going out there with just that rifle and spending an afternoon out there, seeing how accurate I can be shooting steel at distance. That's not something I bring out when I take people shooting with me. I love to take people shooting, be it new shooters or people that have never fired firearms. I like to take them type of people shooting. My M1A is not a gun I bring with. That's my gun. That's for me. Every one of these guns is real. Oh, I have. Go to the channel, man. That'll answer your questions. I should be telling you, hey, like, comment, subscribe, blah 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 blah. Check out the channel. This is what I can fit on the table. Um, Test to answer your questions, comment, subscribe. Yeah. uh the Shadow 2 is nothing super fancy with trigger pull. The Tactical Sport Orange 2 versus DWX, the TSO2 has a better trigger uh, right out the gate. It breaks just under 2 pounds. It's a single action only, but it's a fulcrum trigger. It's got a pivot point, where the Wesson, right now it's, I don't know, 2.5 pounds, I think, but that's not the way it came. I had to do, it didn't cost me anything, but it took me time. But it's a straight pull trigger. Some people have preference one way or the other. I think because I've been shooting the CZs for quite some time now, that I'm more used to the CZ style trigger, the pivot and trigger. But Dan Wesson, I mean, it's got a nice trigger. It's a nice shooting gun. It's a nice feeling gun. It's not something you're gonna buy and use for concealed carry or anything else, but it's a good shooting gun. Gamma, hello. I don't know what you're asking for a gift for. Cajun Gunworks, what do you ask about Cajun Gunworks? I'm not sure. You got to give me more than just initials. You can get anything you want gold. So that gun, I bought it just like it is. It wasn't expensive. It was only 800 bucks. It was shortly after Gersan introduced them. I was actually going to give that to my oldest son as a gift, and him and I were talking one day, and we saw that. I think it was, I don't remember where we saw it, but I saw it. I ordered the gun. I was going to give it to him, and then he ended up snagging a Mosin Nagant from me. So being he took my Mosin Nagant, I kept that. It's just, I don't know. It's cool. Looks cool. It's shiny. A lot of people, they have different hobbies. Um, I enjoy firearms. I enjoy shooting, but I do a lot of riding. I have 5 motorcycles. So I wouldn't, if you think I'm obsessive with guns, you should see my bikes. I should show them. I don't. It's cool. It's like a little narco gun, you know? It wasn't expensive. There's nothing fancy about it. It's just cool. Something you pull out and it just kind of looks cool. They have some of the Santa Marta grips that you see on like a lot of cartel guns. I keep thinking I should get a set, but I don't really want to step on somebody's dick who's going to cut my head off. No, the one on the left is not an M1 carbine. It's a M1A. So it's 308 instead of 30 carbine. Santa Marita, yeah. Did I say that right? Santa Marita? No, I don't have a Glock 19 anymore. I have 17s, 34s, 22, 26, 43X, no 19s. It's kind of a bastard gun. It doesn't fit the bill for what I needed for it. I wasn't going to carry it, and it's not something I really enjoyed shooting. I'd rather shoot a 17 if I'm going to shoot a Glock. Well, I don't need guns. I enjoy shooting guns. I enjoy shooting competition. I enjoy exercising my freedoms. So, do I need it? I don't need anything. But I do enjoy it. It's something I enjoy doing for me. It's something I enjoy doing with my kids. You know, y'all may look at firearms and think they're only used for killing, but just take a second and reflect upon what firearms are. Some of the oldest traditional sports, not only America, but the world has, is competition firearms, competition shooting. That's some of the oldest, before football, before baseball, before, a lot of these sports that you guys play, soccer, basketball, people were out competition shooting. These are the oldest, what do I want to say? Mass sports where people got together from all over. I mean, back in the 1700s, people are traveling across countries to go shoot competition rifle matches. They have these old ball and flintlock rifles, and they're shooting, 600 yards with them. Yep, sure have. A lot of people have misconceptions about what shooting is. And to me, is it fun to go rattle off mags and stuff? Yeah. But it's just as much fun for me to stand there, control your breathing, focus, watch your wind, watch your, everything that goes into it, and then make a perfect shot. It's, some people like it, some don't. I enjoy competition pistol shooting. That to me is a lot of fun. I get to run around, get to shoot as fast as I want. I do not have a Glock 19 currently. Fun adrenaline. Can be. Not sure what you mean, D-Dog. Well, it's not the Matrix. I don't know if you're asking if the firearms are real. The firearms are real. Yeah, I've done 3-gun. You don't see too many in my state. You don't see too much 3-gun anymore. Everything's kind of 2-gun, rifle, pistol. Yeah, this is good stuff. My home range here is starting their PCLS matches this year, so that'll be fun again to be able to shoot 2-gun matches. But yeah, I used to love 3-gun. I shot a lot of 3-gun. I have a Benelli M1 that I use for that, my AR-15, and then my pistol. Well, you can do whatever you want, but I answered that. I had a Benelli M1, so I got the Sega 12. That was what I was going to use it for, and it works good now, but it didn't work good out of the box. It ran high brass, rounds well, but the cheap crap that you want to use for knocking over steel, that number 7 bird shot or 8 number bird shot, it didn't like that low brass stuff. It'll run it now. There was some work done to it to enable that, but hands down, my Benelli M1 is still my go-to gun. I've been all over the country with it. I've shot everything you could think to shoot. No, I haven't looked at the Genesis 12. If we were shooting 3-gun yet, I would buy another shotgun. But it's not something that's really up. With AI report and does nothing on YouTube now. I'm not sure what. It must be common. I can't even. Oh, you're okay, man. Feel free to report me. Just let them know there's a man on here showing guns. He's free, white, and over 21. He's definitely a bad guy. Oh God, he's heterosexual, married, and believes in God. We better crucify this guy at the fucking stake. What? I mean, I'm like the living epitome of what people hate right now. Huh?
The Antichrist.
The Antichrist, yeah. Free white over 21, straight Christian male. Yeah. And I vote Republican. How y'all like that? I'm definitely evil spawn reincarnated. I will, bro. Hold on right now. There you go. Yeah. I'm not a little skinny dude. Every one of these is real. I'll do a quick walkthrough here for you, William. I did do a short video before I started my live today that showed these guns a little bit better. On a live, I can't pick them up. Hammer, D-Dog, go get him, So on the far left side, the wood stock, it's a Springfield M1A1 Scout Squad. It's an 18-inch barrel, and it's chambered in 308 7.62. The long gun on the far right side is a Sega 12. I don't know what to tell you about that. It's a Sega 12 gauge semi-automatic self-load and repeating firearm. The pistol is from the bottom up. The very bottom pistol is a Beretta 92 FS. That's a Italian manufactured Beretta. The next gun up is a Shadow Systems MR920P Elite. The gun directly above that with the red grips and the red trigger is a Dan Wesson DWX. The gun directly above that with the orange grips is a CZ Tactical Sport Orange 2. The gun above that looks kind of white grayish, is a Urban Gray CZ Shadow 2. The gun directly above that with the red grips, red magazine sticking out, is a CZ SP01 Competition. And then the gold gun on top, last but not least, is a Gerson MC Deluxe. Yeah, I don't sell guns, man. You can't be a hoarder if you sell, right? And since I closed my shop, I've only ever parted with a few guns. So I'm not into that. My favorite EDC, or what's your EDC? I carry a Glock 26 Gen 5. I carried the Gen 3 when it came out for a decade plus. Then I carried a Gen 4 for over a decade. And a couple of years ago, my oldest got his concealed carry permit. And for Christmas, I gave him my Gen 4 carry gun. And then I got a Gen 5. I wish I kept my Gen 4, but I gifted it to my son, and I thought, the sentimental behind me was I could have gave him a brand new gun, but I gave him a firearm that for 12 years, 10 years, somewhere in there, I trusted my life and I protected my family's life with that gun. I had it on me all the time. And so I wanted to give my son something that I hope meant something to him, right? It wasn't just a gun. It was um, something I gave to my son that meant something to me. I mean, I trusted my life on it. So he values it. Uh, I mean, I still prefer that gun over this. The Gen 3 Glocks, they were nice. The Gen 2 Glocks, I think, were a little nicer than the Gen 3s. But Glock 26 was not made in the Gen 2. I'm not sure. I see Brazil. Nathaya. Probably not saying that right. Hawk, how are you doing? Um, yeah, I thought so. You know, I would have to compare D-Dog, all of them together. Uh, I mean, I'll bang on Glocks all day long, but for somebody, if somebody asked me, hey, I'm only going to buy one handgun ever, and I want to shoot competition, I want to use it for concealed carry, I want to use it for personal protection, dude, get a Glock 17 or a Glock 19 or something like that. But they're a utilitarian firearm. You know, they work. They're fast out of the holster. They're fast on target and into action. That I'll never deny. That's why it's such a hit in competitions. I mean, now they've kind of gotten downplayed or overshadowed by a lot of these other firearms. But you know, Glock's still a Glock. You know, so it depends what you're gonna do with the revolver. Like for home defense, that's what one of my guns I have. I have my 7-shot 357 Magnum. Um, for a vehicle or a glove box gun, same thing. I keep one in my glove box. That one's 38 special plus P. A revolver is a good gun if you want to have something and keep it loaded and hopefully never need it. Doesn't matter how long that gun is loaded, it's always going to work, provided it doesn't lock up. Uh, Personal protection, I wouldn't say it's a bad thing if you're good with a gun. Um, S, I don't want to pronounce Eshkar. I don't know if I said that right. There is above the gun with the orange grips, the gray slash whitish looking gun. That's a CZ Shadow 2. They're okay. A lot of people are going to be happy to have a Shadow 2. It's going to fit all their needs that they want. They're going to be able to compete with it. For me, I prefer the Tactical Sport Orange 2. I'm not going to carry a Shadow 2 concealed. I'm not going to have a daily carry. It's not my home defense gun. It's strictly a competition gun, in my opinion. And that's just my opinion. But if I have a gun for competition, I'm gonna go all in. I'm gonna get something a little bit better than the Shadow 2. But if you're buying a Shadow 2, you will not be disappointed with them. They're accurate, they're reliable, they run good. Um, Not sure what you're asking about a Glock 19 MOS. I have a Glock 34. It's definitely for the price. It's probably the best competition firearm in that price range. You know, D-Dog, I was arguing with this guy last few days, and uh, I don't know if he's a master or just A class, but he had a video he put out with the Shadow 2s, and he has two of them, and he did the whole package. He did the Cajun Gunworks. Uh, he did the lock grips. He changed the slide stop and put a gas pedal on there and did all this stuff. And I asked him, and this is what started a whole big conflict. I asked him, I said, why didn't you just buy a Tactical Sport Orange 2? And he rattled on and rattled on and rattled on. And I'm like, look, man, I get it. People buy Shadow 2s and they do the performance on a layaway. So a lot of people, they don't want to spend the money up front. They buy the gun, they put a couple $100 here, a couple $100 here, a couple $100 here, and it turns it into something that isn't quite as good as a tactical sport orange. Uh, my opinion, only my opinion. And we went round and round and round, and I threw out there, and this pissed him off. I said, CZ Shadow 2 is an entry level, budget minded competition firearm, and that completely unhinged this dude. You know, background checks are what they are. I about the 48 right before the MOS came out. I don't even know if I've held for the FBI's. Bro, you're not here because I already got my letter today from the ATF. You missed that at the very beginning. I got my certified mail from Department of Alcohol, Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, Explosives. You know, with names like that, these guys should be all kinds of fun, and they're not. They're like anything but. Uh, it may have been. I'll have to go back and look at his stuff. Did he just do a video a couple days ago about the Shadow 2s? I know he was at the Area 5 match, and I know he's got some stuff in Ohio. Brian, I'm glad you're back. Scary. I don't know what's scary about it. You know what's scary about firearms is the fact that you've become so conditioned to look at a firearm, be it through video games, be it media, social media, TV, movies. You've become so accustomed to the only thing you see a firearm used for is violence that I can understand how you would think it's scary. I have a PCR, so I would absolutely pick the PCR over the 92 FS. I like the PCR. That was actually the gun that got me on my CZ kick when I bought my Gen 5 Glock 26 to give my son my Gen 4. While I was standing there waiting for my paperwork to go through, they had a PCR behind the counter, and I was looking at it, and I fell in love with the gun. I love the way it fit. I love the way it feels. I like the way it carries, but what I don't like about it is in waistband underneath the shirt, there's a lot of sharp edges on the gun. Now, if I carried it for a while, if I just manned up, did some push-ups, maybe it wouldn't bother me. I mean, it would definitely smooth it out. I just don't have the patience to do it. Well, if you want to know what it's like to be in World War I tell you what you do. This is a sure way, puts you in the mindset. Go underneath your kitchen sink and grab a gallon of bleach. And then go grab a gallon of ammonia.
Yeah.
And I won't add anything more. Yeah, that was the dude then. Masterclass. Yeah, dude, he was mad. And then he got mad because other people are jumping in this I don't know, comment trend with me, and they're arguing and they're this and they're, and I just tore him apart. And he threatened me. You know, how dare you be belittling my viewers and all this stuff. You know, and I even told him, I said, look, man, I said nothing personal. I'm just having a good discussion. I said, don't take it as I'm trying to be disrespectful. I'm just feeding your algorithm, man. You know, and he ran on a little bit more, and I said, you know what, man, Shadow 2 is a good gun, but it's not as good as others. It's an entry-level competition pistol, and it's really great for that. It's better than most guns in that price range, hands down. Yeah, I know, seriously, they do not mix. That's why I didn't say mix, right? But somebody said that they wanted the World War I experience. What is that? What does it create? And how would it relate to a World War I experience? I mean, come on, if you know, right? Yeah, I love the PCR. It's a great gun. It's a little snappy, but but I mean, they're onto something. It's not called, well, see, somebody knows. See, now what would you, if I said you wanted a World War One experience, what's the first thing that comes to mind? The pistol, well, there's two up there with red handles. The one from the bottom with the red trigger is a Dan Wesson DWX. The second firearm from the top with the red G10 grips and the red magazine is a CZ SP01 competition. That gun actually has red anodized grips, a lot like the DWX. I took them off. I actually put them on my other SP01. See? Exactly. Trenches of wind blowing gas in the wrong direction. There you go. Now my comment in context makes perfect sense, doesn't it? Yeah, I love CZs. You know, I'm not gonna say it's the one stop better than everything. They're great for what you're getting out of them. They're great guns. EDCs should be a simple firearm. I would kind of disagree because I think the Shadow 2 is only. Yeah, I mean, I get it, D-Dog. And you're not wrong. They will, I won't say they'll outperform, but they'll keep up, you know? Oh, it's way. But the thing is, the CZ Shadow 2, they priced it to be the most competitive, competition-based firearm you're going to buy for the money. It's hands down. It's better than anything else, even up to the $2,000 price range. They give you a lot of value for your dollar there, a lot. But it's just, you gotta remember, D-Dog, right? Just like staccatos. Staccatos, up until what, 2 years ago, they were considered an entry-level budget 2011. Fact. It was an entry-level budget 2011. That didn't mean they weren't expensive, and it definitely didn't mean they're not, or doesn't mean they weren't good, but they were an entry-level gun, you know? Anybody that likes a Shadow 2 would like a Tactical Sport Orange 2. It's a better gun. The argument could be made, well, I can shoot production with the Shadow 2, and absolutely, you or anybody else are right. Carry optics or limited optics, that's fabulous. That gun fits a lot of divisions and will work good, right? Work good in any one of them divisions with very little work. The triggers aren't bad, you know. They're good guns for the money. It's hard to beat them. That's why I have one, right? I had that before other things. But I won't disagree. They call Glock an entry, but I'm not referring necessarily to Glock. I'm saying CZ firearms, CZ competition guns. The Shadow 2 is the entry. It is the base. It's their base model competition gun. You know, that's when you start talking not about carry pistols or defense pistols. When you start talking, they're building these guns for USPSA or IPSC. This is the gun they're going to use. I suppose you could argue SPO1, right? That fits IDPA too, but you know. So I maybe I should phrase that a little different. I am referring strictly and solely to CZ competition firearms. I'm not a big one for optics on guns. I'm trying to start making the switch. I'm older, my eyes are starting to get a little shitty. I love shooting my Checkmate, which is an open class gun, red dot, big comp. Red dots on defense pistols, that's not for me. I can shoot iron sights. I don't think it belongs on a carry pistol. I don't think a flashlight belongs on your daily carry pistol either. However, is it nice to be able to have a flashlight? Sure. But unless you live out in the boonies, you don't need a flashlight. You need a flashlight on you, but not necessarily on your firearm. Uh, Recommend a good mouse gun. I mean, are we talking like 22? Are we talking 380? Something like that. I have no experience with the TTI. I know D-Dog has one. He says he likes it. I'm not a fan of Canics. I I just I don't care for them. A 380 or 22. There's a lot of things out there. Uh, I would take a 380 over a 22 if it was something I were going to carry. Uh, there's a few out there. I don't think I have anything that I would feel comfortable saying this is what I recommend you get. I think what I would say is go out and handle as many as you can and see what fits your hand. Pick it up, shut your eyes, pull up onto where you think your target is, open your eyes and see if you're actually aiming at it. If you can point shoot it, that's probably the gun for you. Berettas are okay. I don't know. I have a Beretta 92 FS. I bought that when my oldest was younger, and it was still the U.S. service pistol. He at that time was thinking seriously about enlisting into the military, so I bought a Beretta just so he'd have actual trigger time on it. Um, and that's why I have it. I'm not gonna get rid of it. I'm a left-handed shooter, so a Beretta for a left-handed shooter is a little difficult because of the transfer bar on the right side of the frame. It breaks the grip for a left-handed shooter when you're trying to shoot it. But you got to respect Berettas, you know. Um, I thought you liked the TTI did. See, now you got me, man. We can't be friends no more because I'm so confused. Shadow 2, I'm sure it's a better gun. You know, like I said, I'm not a big Canic person. Um, I can't bring myself to buying one. I've looked at them, and they don't. I don't know. They don't do nothing for me. I don't see the benefit of it. Uh, I'm not the type of guy I'm not the Me Too guy, right? I'm not going to show up at the range because everybody else is running a Canic. Uh, you know what I mean? I just I like what I like. You know. These are all real guns, Savannah. Um, you can't compare the two because they're in two different classes. You got the striker fired polymer type firearm, and then you have a CZ, a heavy steel double action, single action gun. You know, they're not comparable. It's like it's not comparable. The gun with the red grips and red trigger, yes, is a Dan Wesson. It's DWX. So they have a steel frame rival at the shop I deal with, and I don't know. I I have other things that I want um, over that, but nothing up here is a BB gun. The 5.7 for self defense, I don't think that's. So if you look at the ballistics on a 5.7, it's almost identical to a 22 Magnum, and we'd all agree that 22 Magnum's probably not the right caliber for self defense. The Dan Weston is a really nice shooting gun. Um, I need to get some more rounds through it before I say too much. But it's been 100% reliable. It's very accurate. It took me a little bit of time at home to get the trigger tuned. Uh, uh, 2, 4, yeah, somewhere around there. I don't know. Really, it's what I got up here isn't that much. See, that's the thing with the Shadow 2 is it's a competition gun. It's not meant for concealed carry. You know, a range toy, sure, it could be used for home defense or self protection of your property. I mean, I think it would even be a good gun for that. But nobody's carrying a Shadow 2, and they didn't intend it to be carried. You know, that's why there's no drop safety in it, right? If they intended a Shadow 2 to be carried, it would have a drop safety. There's a reason that CZ Lawyer said it's okay, you don't need a drop safety in it. The black carbine on the far right is a Sega 12. And it's a real Sega 12, not none of this uh, Chinese import stuff that everybody's trying to pass off. There's a video I did that shows today's guns. I put it out just before this live went live. And I show you the markings on it, but real deal Sega 12. I think I just answered the AK variant question. Um, Jordan's an expensive. I I can't believe you guys with shoes. I mean, I get it though. It's cool to collect stuff. Um, my opinion, a Glock 17 is probably a little bit better than a Beretta. Um, it's going to be a faster firearm into action. So from a draw to the first shot on target, uh, a Glock's faster than a Beretta. A Beretta has a double strike capability, meaning you can fire it if you get a failure to ignite, a cartridge that fails to ignite. You can pull the trigger again, and it may ignite, it may not. A Glock is you get one shot with the trigger. If the gun goes click, you have to manually cycle that cartridge. Where a Beretta, you could pull the trigger multiple times. And let's face it, if you were in a fight for your life, that could be a good thing, right? Maybe the gun got a little out of battery or something, and keep pulling that trigger till you get um, ignition. Serial killer. Man, I tear up some shredded wheat in the morning. I don't know if that's the type of serial killer you're talking about. So that gun does have Cajun Gunworks in it. Um, it's everybody thinks I'm banging on Shadow 2. I'm not. They're a good gun, but for me, I mean, just below the Shadow 2, I have a Tactical Sport Orange 2. That's a better gun, and I didn't need to do anything to that gun. Nothing. The only thing I did with that gun was lube it. It's got an incredible trigger from the package or out of the box. It comes with the gas pedal, which is worthless to me as a left-handed shooter. It comes with a magwell. It comes with a sub 2-pound trigger. I mean, I don't know if I want to answer that question, Corvette. Because at the beginning of this live, I got a certified mail from the Department of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, Explosives. So I don't want to. I don't know. Maybe somebody emailed them, said I was talking trash about them. No, I have no Tango flows up there. So the black and silver one is what I think you're talking about. It's actually gray. It looks white or silver, but it's a CZ Shadow 2. Hate's a strong word. I think if they did their job, uh, that their core mission, if they stuck to that, they would add a lot of benefits or value to our society. However, it's a rogue government agency that does what they want and misinterprets the laws, and they do it for no other reason than to turn law-abiding citizens into criminals. You know, yeah, Corvette. I don't know, man. I mean, I think I think the Glock switches and stuff like that. They're so easily produced, especially with 3D printers, and you know, everybody wants that. I mean, you can dump a 30 round magazine and you'll hit your target twice. D-Dog can dump a 30 round magazine in less than 2 seconds and hit the target every time. I don't think ghost guns are becoming a problem. I think it's the vast, I don't even want to say vast, it's a certain genre that is really flocking to them. And that's a shame. These young people that don't understand that they're going to prison, man. It's mandatory minimum sentencing. I enjoy my freedoms more than that. I enjoy, the decades of hard work to be where I'm at now, to have the things I have, to provide for my family, to be a semi contributing member of society. I'm not willing to sacrifice my freedoms over a switch. I'll take that money and I'll buy a really good drop-in trigger with a gun, and I'll do it legally. You know, I think a lot of that stuff shouldn't be regulated, but that's my own opinion. I don't think it should just be go to the store and buy what you want. I'm not opposed to paperwork, but there should be a path. There should be a path for legal immigration. There should be a path for legal ownership. Uh, Law-abiding gun owners are never the problem, but you know how the left or government bureaucracy or even the media portrays law-abiding citizens aren't the problems. No, but then they pass a law that makes me, a law-abiding citizen, a felon overnight. So the good guys are no longer the problem, because if I followed their rules, then I would still be. So what do I think about FRTs? So hold on. So it's funny we're talking FRTs. I don't know how long you've been here, but I got a letter. A letter actually when I got home today. So this is what it is. It's a letter from Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and it's them formally saying we have to return your property. So that's what I think about FRTs. I think that they came to my home, they seized my property, which at the time I knew wasn't illegal. So it was easier. I'm gonna kill this live for a second. I just published something I didn't want to publish. I'll be back.